Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel. My name's Matt, and today we're going to review Clear number 1. And before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, so here we got Clear number 1, which is a new Comixology original from Scott Snyder. We got Francis Manapul on the art here, and we start off in San Francisco, 2052. So about 30 years in the future, we are looking like Blade Runner, and there's this woman walking, and she is on the Golden Gate Bridge. She climbs to the top of it and jumps off, and as she does, you might notice it does not look like she is seeing what is actually going on. There is the real world here, and we see people seeing her jump off. And then there's like this weird fantasy stuff she's seeing. She's seeing this waterfall that she jumped off, a happy sun, a dragon as she gets lower, a castle. So it seems like maybe she wasn't seeing everything, and maybe she didn't make that decision on her own. We cut to the narrator of this book, who is actually named Sam Dunes. He was narrating all those panels before with the woman walking and jumping off the bridge. It turns out this guy's kind of like a private detective or something. He is working a case for someone. He is introducing us into this world. Basically, humans have become, their brains have been integrated with computer chips so that they can interface with technology directly, no screens necessary. And as part of that, there's these little microchips called veils that can alter your reality. So alter what's going on in your vision for what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you feel. And so I guess some people buy them and they're legal, they're like we'll say they're over the counter prescriptions or something. And then you can get black veils, which are things that you would let's say spike someone's drink or whatever with or something, and it would put them in a state where they might end up, say, kill themselves or not know what's real or not, and it might make them go crazy or something. So who knows why you'd want it, but there are these black veils, they call them. That is what our protagonist, Sam Dunes, he's working for this guy's wife. He was following him to see if he was buying these black veils because she thinks he's trying to poison her with them, basically. He is definitely spying this drug deal happen. So it looks like Mark, the husband, is in fact spiking the wife with these black veils. So this guy is able to sneak up behind Sam while he's looking at this drug deal go down. He works for the drug dealer. His name's Chris. This guy's sneaking up behind him. And he actually is able to inject him with one of these veils. And I don't know if it's a black veil or just a regular veil or whatever, but he injects him. But Sam is able to fight back. He breaks Chris's arm. And as the drug dealers are about to drive away, he starts to follow them. And as he's following him, we see what kind of stuff that's happening in his vision. So we see that he's got, there's like, I don't know, an Arabian palace. There's like a World War II plane scenario going on. So a wagon, he's seeing like wagons and stuff. So he's having to figure out exactly what's going on while he's getting shot at by this gangster. So he is actually able to stop this drug dealer in his car. And as he does, this policeman comes up and says, "Hey, Dunes, I need to talk to you." We also see that he is actually taking something called Clear every day, which later on he explains is actually something that makes you be able to see the world as it is. So like he doesn't ever use veils or anything. But Detective Collins is actually here to tell him something specific. He says there's been an accident. And we see the woman from before who at the beginning of the comic who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. We find out her name is Kendra and that she's actually Sam's wife. And he explains that they, had separated and whatnot, but he had tried to reach out a couple times before, but hadn't gotten anything back. He actually mailed her a package and never heard anything back from it. So he just left it at that, and that was a while ago. That was a couple years ago, he said. So he gets back to his private eye headquarters and he notices there's someone in his office because some sand has moved. And when he bursts in, he thinks it's going to be those bad guys, those from before, but it's actually the woman who hired him, Miss Petal Matters is her name. She was the wife of the guy who was buying those black veils. He basically tells her, yeah, your husband is trying to drug you or whatever, so be careful about that. And then she says, oh, by the way, this box was here for you when I got here. And I'm going to stop it right there because I don't want to spoil the whole thing. But yeah, this comic was interesting. Comic. This is more of a sci-fi noir, so kind of got to be in the mood for it. I will say because of that, there's like a lot of voiceover dialogue over panels. So I found myself I'd have to read the voiceover narrative, and then I would go back and look at the panels on each page, because it's hard to look at what's going on in each page while you're reading this narration. That made it a little more difficult to enjoy as far as reading, but that's kind of like a style thing. So that's one of my least favorite styles of writing for comics, but that is definitely a style that is like noir. So I see why he did it. It's just not my bag. But the art was fantastic, and I definitely want to see what's going on with this. The world they are setting up is pretty cool, with like this futuristic take on everything. So but yeah, so I would give this one a 3 out of 5 for me personally. Your mileage might vary on that, because you might like noir or that voiceover style better, but for me, this one didn't have quite as good of an impact as We Have Demons #1 did. So but a good start in its own right. We'll see where this mystery leads, especially with the cliffhanger at the end that I didn't show you. So with that, we'll see you guys on the next one.